Wake up, it's dark. Come home, it's dark. I will soon binge watch a show after show, eating my way through everything at home just to have the energy to move from one room to another. Does it have to be like this? I wish that I could say that my depression was seasonal. Instead, it's like 4 Seasons by Vivaldi. It's different songs that kind of sound familiar. The truth is, I do struggle a lot more with my mood and general life things in the seasons of fall and winter. It's like a bad day can turn into a bad week can turn into a bad month. I'm feeling sad and drained, so I stop eating well, so I stop exercising, so I'm starting to feel sad and drained, and the cycle continues. This year I preemptively made a list of things that are supposed to help, according to science, and I want to try them all out. The rules are nothing too complicated, mostly indoors, nothing that involves having a ton of money or a ton of friends, because I don't have any of those. And I will be mostly wearing my pajamas and my sweatpants. You are most welcome to do the same. I wanted to make a plan to make sure that I don't waste the season of my life, that I'm productive, that I get things done. But just as I wouldn't wear my summer outfits in the middle of winter, I'm not going to bring the same level of energy to whatever I do. Nature is cyclical and it doesn't operate on the same level all year round, so why should we? I think winter forces us to slow down a bit, which means finding a more sustainable rhythm and working within our capacity and taking rest when needed. Fun fact, scientists actually discovered that even though humans don't hibernate, we need at least 1 hour extra of sleep every single night in wintertime because of our circadian rhythm. So I'm thinking maybe it's time that we started adjusting our schedules and our frameworks to our body's needs instead of adjusting our body's needs to whatever the society deems suitable and successful. So if you find it that you need more rest, you're not weird, you're not weak, it's completely natural and you don't need to feel bad about it. Now we have our drink and we are cozy. It's time for an activity. I'd like for you to take a piece of paper and a pen. We are going to trace the outline of our hands. Just like this. These look very ugly. I would like for you to write on each finger something that you loved doing as a kid in the months of November and December. Some of the things that I have here are watching Disney movies, coloring pages, reading books, building a fort from blankets. This is our bucket list. I think kids have this amazing ability to find joy in everything, and I feel like as we grow up, we lose a bit of that. I'm going to start with something easy. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make gloves. When we're motivated, we're full of positive emotions. Like when you start a new project and you feel like it's going to go great and it's really worth your time. But when you're depressed, your motivation is gone. The depressed brain exaggerates how much effort an activity will take, but at the same time, it's minimizing the potential reward. This can result in this vicious cycle of inactivity that I mentioned. So you don't feel good enough to do anything. So you don't do enough things that make you feel good, which again causes you not to do anything. Does it make sense? It does in my head. So sometimes it's not our fault that we lack motivation or self-discipline, it's our brain chemistry. But the good news is that we can shift our brain chemistry with small actions. So doing those small things that we used to like as kids, whether coloring or Lego or painting, can help us feel better and stop this inactivity cycle. And if the activity can be creative, that's even better, because what depressive episodes do is that they inhibit prefrontal cortex in our brain, which is responsible for processing emotions. And creative hobbies can help us feel more connected to our emotions, so in a way, they can stop depressive episodes. So we did a little activity to get energized and maybe a little bit happy, a little bit. What about energy slumps? I get these a lot in wintertime, especially in the afternoon when I'm tired after doing a little bit of work. I sometimes literally feel as if somebody sprayed a sleeping gas in the room. I've been researching what to do about this, and I found 2 things that can help that are free and everybody has access to: light and oxygen. Let me explain. The thing that can help us very fast when we're feeling drowsy is getting fresh air, especially cold, crispy winter air. Getting fresh air helps us increase oxygen levels in our blood, which makes us more alert, more concentrated, helps us wake up. And being cold increases the endorphin production in our body because our body works very hard to keep us warm. And endorphins help us feel happier, less stressed, and they also numb pain physically in a way that morphine does. Does it all sound good? Good enough to try? I hope so. So whenever I feel drowsy, I just open the window, stand in the window, take deep breaths. Or if I can, I go outside to the balcony or something, wrapped in a blanket or wearing a jumper, and for 30 seconds, I just take deep breaths, and usually it works. Amazing! The second thing is also free, but a bit less frequent, and that is light. The thing that's hardest for me about winter is how dark it is all the time. It's dark in the morning, it's dark in the evening when I come back, which makes me feel like I don't have any time for myself. But one thing that I found really helps is taking a break in the middle of the day, for example at lunchtime, and just going outside when it's bright. And I have to make the distinction, bright, not sunny. I think this can be particularly helpful if you have a lot of back-to-back meetings, you're in front of the screen all day. It can really boost your mental health. If you work in an office building, you could try taking a break at lunchtime and going outside, or just pretend to be one of the smoking people. But don't start smoking just to go outside. Smoking is really bad for you. Anyways, research proved that 15 to 20-minute walk decreased levels of cortisol immediately after walking and made people feel more energetic. And also walking improves blood circulation, which in turn improves memory, concentration, and helps us be more creative. So tons of benefits. Once it gets dark, I try to work with artificial light to lighten up the bleak darkness of long winter nights. I will put on a soft lamp or a candle. I know some people love fairy lights. Work with what you have to brighten up your space. I feel like most people don't like winter because the weather's bad and you're kind of stuck at home. But it also means that there are fewer activities available, you're not tempted to go anywhere, which means that if you said that you're going to do something and you haven't done it yet, now is the perfect time to finally do it. In my case, I've been self-taught when it comes to writing, and I've done a lot of things on instinct, but I've been meaning to finally learn it from somebody who knows what they are doing. And I'm doing it on Skillshare. I'm doing this creative writing bootcamp. Thank you, Skillshare, for being a sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is the world's largest online learning community, so if you want to create your own business or start a YouTube channel, you can learn all aspects of it on Skillshare. So video editing, photography, using AI for your art. You could also even learn yoga, meditation, languages, which to me, it means I have massive FOMO because I get very excited and I want to learn everything. And then I remember that I'm a normal person with normal responsibilities and I have to be selective about what I choose to learn. If you feel at least a tiny bit as excited as I am about mastering a craft or a topic of your choice with the help of industry-leading experts, the first 500 people to click the link in the description will get a month free to give it a try. No strings attached, just a month free to learn anything you want. For me, that's motivation enough to get me to do something productive this winter. Get your free month of Skillshare access by clicking on the link in the description. Okay, so we've done some work and we're feeling really drained and all we want to do is sit down and watch something. Perhaps it isn't what you expected to hear, but we're going to give in and watch something. We're going to watch stand-up comedy, and I found some very good scientific research to justify it. Laughter releases endorphins, known as feel-good hormones. It increases the oxygen-rich air you take in and reduces stress, bringing down your heart rate and blood pressure and causing your muscles to relax. So watching something that makes you laugh, maybe it's your favorite comedy, maybe it's stand-up, is just scientifically good for you. What I also like to do every year is make a list of seasonal films and books that kind of just fit the vibe and make me excited for the season. With books, I mostly get them from the library so that I don't need to buy anything, but I also have a couple of my favorites at home that I'm going to show you. I'm obviously going to be rereading Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Also, I really love English Gothic, English romantic novels and mystery, Wuthering Heights or Rebecca. I quite like reading tales, so I have a couple of books that are a collection of tales here. This one I read quite recently, and it's historical fiction mixed with mystery and fantasy. It's set in 17th century Amsterdam in wintertime, covered with snow, with the smell of cinnamon in the air. Just the descriptions are so evocative and beautiful. It was a lovely read. I know you thought we are not going to do any exercise. Well, not exactly. I almost never feel like doing any exercise in winter time. I know the theory of it all. I know it's supposed to be good for your mental and physical health, blah, blah, blah. But still, I would much rather be a sad little couch potato. What helped me with this dilemma is embracing imperfect and slow movement, meaning I no longer think it has to be 1 hour for it to count. It does not have to be super intense. It does not have to be any specific shape or form. So oftentimes I will do those 5 to 10 minute yoga tutorials or bedtime yoga, which is this thing where you are in your pajamas and do stretches on the bed, or I will just sit on the mat and do any exercises and stretches that I know. If I want to do more, I can, but most of the time, this is what I do. Being behind this perfectionist mindset where I thought that I need to be active in a way that I've seen on social media allowed me to move more. It allowed me to move every day in a way that feels good, that is not stress-inducing, that does not feel like punishment, and with any energy capacity that I have in a given moment. So embrace the power of gentle daily movement, especially those days when you feel like only bed rotting. There are 2 more things that help me with my mood regulation, stress, and energy in wintertime. I like to take a warm bath before I go to bed because research suggests that either a warm bath or a warm shower 1 to 2 hours before bedtime helps us unwind and fall asleep faster and easier. And that's because it decreases our core body temperature, which is a circadian sleep signal, meaning that our body knows that we will be going to sleep shortly. Also, a warm bath acts as a warm hug because it helps us release oxytocin, which is this feel-good love hormone. And I feel like we could all use a warm hug in wintertime. If you add essential oils or bath salts, it becomes this multi-sensory experience that's even more relaxing, so I definitely suggest you try that. Now, I know I said at the beginning that everything today will be easy, and this second part is not exactly easy, but it works really, really well, so I don't know, take it or leave it. In the evening, I do something like a warm shower or a warm bath, but in the morning, something that works really, really well for me to wake up and have more energy is cold exposure. Now, I have probably about 2 years of experience with cold exposure, but I still don't like cold showers. I don't find them pleasurable, so I don't do them often. But I go once a week to a place in London where I can do sauna and swim in an outdoor pool because it really, really helps me have more energy throughout the week. I have a separate video on how I got into cold exposure and how you can do it and why I think it's good, so you can check it out if you want. The fascinating thing about it is that if you go into cold water, your body literally thinks that you might be dying. So it's working extra hard to keep you alive. It's prioritizing pumping blood to your most vital organs. So afterwards, you feel really energetic and you feel really alive and really healthy. I really, really love it. But one thing that I've learned is that you have to be very progressive about it and you have to be very informed and read if you have any conditions that can make it problematic. I tried to find activities that would allow me to better serve my body and understand its needs. But also I'm trying to learn to be gentle with myself, to let go of any preconceived notions of how I should be performing. I read somewhere that winter is nature's reminder that everything that's part of it, including ourselves, needs time to rest and retreat. So don't feel bad for not operating all year round at the same speed, because in fact, you are not meant to. If you need a break, take a break. If you need to slow down, but never ever give up on yourself. Give yourself the same kindness and compassion and care as you would give to other people. You deserve it.